Just let a man breathe and just hush so my mind could just see, so my mind don't erupt. At times I feel I can't get enough, but I sip a double cup and I spend a couple bucks. Sending out some love to my blood, to my girl, to my buds, to the homie up above.
Jeez, I cannot find the Marvel Studios intro for the life of me.
Huh.
Maybe it was that 7-year-old boy child made intro right there that I played first that threw me off. What do you think, Andre? Should I get the new one?
No, we need to get the one from this episode. You know, in this episode, we literally like went back forward to the titles. Oh my god, that was awesome! I think we need that for this intro. But anyway,
No, they have the new Marvel Studios logo that has the original music and whatnot, everything, but they've added in the Phase 4 stuff.
oh, I gotta be honest. I prefer the old logos.
I do too. That's why I keep rocking it. But anyways, folks, this is the MCU'S Bleeding Edge YouTube channel and podcast. We're waiting for Cyberneticshark and the rest of the squad to show up for the Loki finale review. Glorious Purpose. Andre's the pop culture guy, of course, is here because he's always here. He's beyond a regular guest. He's a Bleeding Edge staple. And he's also the special guest co-host of the MCU's Bleeding Edge Report every Monday. WandaVision episode 4 this Monday, folks. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Andres, sir, did you go see the Marvels yet?
No, why? The only thing I did today was just getting ready for the wedding for tomorrow and rewatch. Loki.
That's right, the wedding. I forgot.
Yeah, it's for tomorrow, and just rewatch Loki season 2, and then I had to plan to watch 28 Days Later tomorrow night, and then that's it. I need to talk to Chris. Like, I need to ask him if he's available this Sunday or whatever. But
For
yeah.
real. I know. I still haven't even gone and gotten it either yet. Whatnot, and everything. Hope I should go check that. I should check back on Amazon and see if it's available now.
Yes, it's in Amazon. It's available. You have to rent. You can purchase it.
No, I'll rent it. It wasn't available last weekend. You know that. You saw it.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
Well, I have no idea, but I think that just happens sometimes with the streaming services. I think certain movies just get kind of caught up. You know what I mean? In between different services.
You need to buy the DVD because it's not available on Prime Video. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go buy the DVD. Great.
Yeah. So I suggest you to get it, and that's it.
I'll go to Best Buy or whatnot. I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks. So no, we're here to wrap up the Loki, season 2, episode 6 finale. Andres, what do you think? Episodes 4, 1 through 5. Forget about episode 6.
No, I cannot do that.
Forget about episode 6 as best as you can.
No, I cannot do that.
Where was your mindset going into the finale?
Trying to figure out
Towards the show, I guess. As far as what your expectations were, maybe.
Yeah, I think I think it's been universal. I think the shows have been actually great. I think it's been exceeding our expectations. Like, you think about it, like there hasn't been drop quality at all with Loki. Like, it's been top notch quality episode storytelling all around. I think it seems like everyone cared about making a show, compared to other Disney Plus shows that we've seen, aka the Marvel shows. Um, yeah, and then just the character Loki, I think, has been the main factor to it. Um, yeah, so I think it's been exceeding my expectations. I think it's good that we watched season one. I think I like maybe this season more because just how it just connected all, like expanded the universe and everything else. Cyber, are you there? Facebook user. Oh god.
I don't know if that's cyber. I can't tell
Yeah.
until there's actually a name. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Anyway, but yeah, I think this is top. This is definitely a top tier MCU project. If we combine the Disney Plus shows and the movies, this is going to be my top five. I think I'll definitely put it at number five or three now because of the second season. I think it's been so good. I'm excited to talk about this season, this episode. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
No, or I am too. And I think that my expectations going into no, I think that I don't know that my expectations for the series or at any point have been surpassed because I already I mean, regardless of what's been going on in the MCU, irregardless, I always expect a good product from Marvel, from the MCU, and I especially after Loki season one, especially after we just re-reviewed it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see how they could screw that up. They already had the formula. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't see how they couldn't just, work with what they already had in the tank, right? I'll tell you, Sylvie, I'm really disappointed with how they used Sylvie in this season. I really am. She just kind of like fell off. She didn't have one big moment in the whole show, really.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. I agree with you. But I think she did serve a purpose. On their purpose. Anyway, of the story for this episode here for Loki, and I think it makes total sense what we're taking here. Like, I think I got the idea what they're trying to do here with the character, but I'm with you. I didn't like the way they did it towards her. I think there could have been a different way for them to take her and like progress her character in the season and get to the point that affected Loki, as I'm alluding to, but which we'll get into later in the episode.
Well, again, though, taking into consideration that not that much time has passed, in all honesty, since like the day that Loki showed up at the TVA, it's only been like 2 weeks.
I don't think about that. I'm just thinking.
Do you see what I'm saying though? As far as like character evolution, right? There's only so much you can expect for certain characters. I get where you're going though. Like everyone else did kind of evolve.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good point. I think you're right because the fact that where we did with Loki here was very accessible, but with Sylvie, yeah, I think I can see where you're coming from. I mean, where we're at, but it's interesting because out of all she and Mr. M, by Owen Wilson, are like they have like a long history. They're not like taking out from the timeline. Like Sylvie's been doing this forever, and you think that she had some change of mind, but I don't know. It's just.
I mean, she'd been hunted forever.
But yeah, at the same time.
And so she really wanted was just to have a regular life.
Yeah, that's true. Which she sort of got.
You got to have, kind of.
Yeah. And actually, to be fair though, I mean, this show is Loki. It's Tom Hiddleston, so I don't think like whatever you want to say. Like, if you think this is like a dual protagonist, okay. If you think it's a dual protagonist, don't think like that because I think this was solely focused on Loki, and Loki is the major character that we have to follow.
I'm all right. It's just like I told the chick at the dentist a couple of months ago, when she went to go X-ray my teeth. She put the whole like iron jacket thing on me, whatnot, and everything, right? And she asked me if I had any metal in my mouth or whatnot, and I was like, well, you know what? I think the only thing I've got in there is maybe some shards of Shio's penis that broke off in my tooth. It was in my teeth. She domed me. I mean, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeff TrueKnowledge here. So you're telling me you made a joke?
So that was while I was coughing there a little bit, just as it.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I did make that joke. It was funny as hell. The chick laughed her ass off.
Oh, awesome. I
She
hope
loved it. Once I told her it was a joke, I was like, I was just joking. She's like, I know.
Oh, good. It's good that people have sex. That's really awesome. So
yeah.
But I want to talk about episode 6. So let's include the episode 6 with season 2.
Oh, okay. Include the episode 6.
Yeah, let's stick with the whole season you're talking about. I think including the episode 6 now, I think this series is the best Disney Plus show that they ever produced. Like the fact that they close out Loki's arc, this new version, and have an awesome arc for 2 seasons is really incredible. And the fact that they stick the landing, it's really nice. And just that's something that's been a problem with these Disney Plus shows. You know, like I mean, going back to Secret Invasion, like, you know, Nick Fury, like, what was Nick Fury's arc? Like, he was basically the same person from the beginning then to the end. And like, besides the wife thing, right? Like, you look at this Loki, like, as you say before, a few days he was plucked from the Avengers timeline, and then he went to this, like, multiverse travel of rediscovering who he is. He's trying to stop this new villain that he discovered that's controlling the TVA. And then this season, he's finding out why he's doing, like, trying to keep the TVA because he wants his friends. And then now he realized that, like, as a hero, he has to sacrifice what the most is his happiness, and he becomes literally a god of multiverse, which is totally crazy.
He became He Who Remains, basically.
Well, yeah, that. I mean, if you want to be simplified, that. But yes, that.
Like some people thought that what might happen, that's what ended up happening with him. He ended up becoming his own version of He Who Remains.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird ending. I mean, the whole, with the whole, like, him having to sit in the chair and hold everything together and shit and whatnot and everything.
Well, not really. I mean, think about what He Remains was doing. Like, he was in a castle.
Yeah, but at least he could walk around.
But yeah, like, he was just alone.
He didn't have, like, vines growing into him and shit and whatnot. What's up,
Yeah.
Cypher?
Hola.
Oh,
Cyberneticshark, sir. We were just discussing our thoughts on Loki episodes 1 through 5 going into episode 6 and sort of whether or not our expectations were met in terms of what we got and whatnot, up until the finale, if that's possible, even though I know obviously we're here to review the finale. Well, how you doing, by the way?
I'm great. I'm fine, sir.
Oh, J-Rim was supposed to be on with us too, but I never heard from him. So, no, I'm sure I'll eventually hear from him. But so what do you think? Episodes 1 through 5, did everything? Do you feel like everything sort of met at least your expectations, regardless of sort of maybe like some of the letdown that we've experienced with Phase 4 and Phase 5?
Yeah, I mean, it was all the first 5 episodes were fantastic, really well done, really enjoyed them, and I think they met my expectations for the series. I think they met them above and beyond, actually, and I was really impressed with the season. The first 5 seasons, I think they were better than the first. So yeah, it totally met my expectations.
Most definitely. And Andres, do you still believe that you prefer the first season better than the second season?
That's a tough one for me. I have to be honest. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I think I like both seasons. I think they feel overall a complete story. If you think about it, from 6 it's like 10 episodes of a full complete arc of this Loki character we're following. So I think this, like, I mean, like, think about it. It's chapters. Like, season 1 is like chapter 1 of a book, and that's what the creators are saying, right? And then this season 2 is like a chapter 2 of, a sequel to the first season, and I think it lives up, my expectation of the first season. So I fairly enjoyed the first 2 seasons, like, equally. I don't think I can like say what's my personal favorite, because I just think they surprised me so much. Like, they exceeded my expectations both seasons. So, but it's kind of tough, because it's just like very impressive. Because, like, I don't know, like, for other seasons, it could have been a different story if the season 2 didn't work, which it has been working. And there's some, nitpicks I have to bring up that I was kind of trouble with this season, which we'll discuss soon. So,
All right, most definitely. And what's going on there, Jackson? How you doing, buddy? I didn't even realize that you scrubbed my older channel to make a newer channel. I didn't know you even though you had a YouTube channel. Oh yeah, that's right. I know you did say that you would watch. All right, yeah. I like your name there, Rathacon. It's an interesting one. Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate you. But so all right, let's get into episode 6. Let's get into the finale. Cyberneticshark, sir. What do you think? Your first reaction after you watched the full episode. How long was it? What was it, about 50 minutes?
59.
Yes.
50, so it was a full hour?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you enjoy it? Was it, I mean, was it, did it live up to, did the finale live up to your expectations?
No, it did not live up to my expectations, unfortunately. It was fantastic up until the very end. I would say probably the last 20 minutes. I'll say 10. Last 10 minutes of the episode just pissed me off because they didn't tie loose ends. They didn't give any closure to anything. So, other than that, the episode was fantastic. I loved it up until that very point where they, just didn't close anything out. But other than that, yeah, I loved it from the get-go. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was a decent finale. This was going to be my favorite finale until the ending. The ending just killed it for me. But yeah, other than that, expectation up to 49 minutes in, I'll say, and then the last 10 minutes. Screwed it.
Well, at least they switched the series over to Loki in the finale, unlike Ahsoka, right? Where we got to wait for season 2 for her to finally get her show.
I
Remember during Ahsoka, we complained at the end that Ahsoka didn't get enough screen time, and it really wasn't all around her. It was more like a continuation of Rebels.
Yeah, but at least with that, they kind of gave it a little bit of closure compared to the end of this season, unfortunately, because even though they showed him, basically coming out, that doesn't give closure. It just shows him he was among the vines again. And,
what did he become, like a tree person there at the end? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, that's pretty much what they seem to be making him. So.
Yeah, it's a Norse mythology thing, the tree that you see towards the end of the episode. So it's
possibly that could be, yeah.
Yeah, it's that. I'm slipping up with the name, but that's what it is. If you know your Norse mythology, folks.
Andres, I don't know my Norse mythology. I'm more like as Cyber knows, I'm more of a trained gynecologist. I'm more gynecologically inclined.
Okay.
You know, that I am like a forensic scientist or anything like that, or whatever, you know, a Norse mythologist or whatever. But either way, that was in another life, which you should know about. Since you would expect Andres to really be like be able to flex on this episode review, folks, because he is in the time cop dimension. He knows all about time slipping and shit like that. These are like that's everyday shit. The time cop dimension, time slipping is like regular shit.
Yeah, don't you know that he just officially made it to 2099? Yeah, you know, he's about to hit 3,000. So you know,
when you time slip in the time cop dimension, they just give you a pill. Like here,
No.
here you go.
Folks, my time dimension is close to the Spider-Verse than this universe. Let's make that very clear here. All right. Anyway.
Sorry, people. He does not know Miles Morales. Sorry.
Yeah. Shush! I know my. What are you saying? Oh my god. Anyway,
he told me. Miles told me he does not know. He said, "I don't know what this time fucking top dimension is, but he's some crazy lunatic or something."
That's right. He's like I've been all over the multiverse, and I've never heard of that place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Oh my god. Anyway, is it my turn to talk now about my feelings?
Yes.
Sure.
If you guys care about my time cop dimension,
We do.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so I'm pretty much the opposite of Cyber. I really like this series finale. It stick the landing. It's a great finale like the first season. No, but I really enjoyed this season. I think this finale just hit everything right to the deck. Well, first off, I predicted that it was going to be a time loop kind of episode, which I was.
When
so
did
happy.
you do that? Did that happen in the time cop dimension or in our dimension?
My dimension, if we have to be serious. But anyway, so I was happy.
So we don't even know if it really happened because he just said it was on the time cop dimension.
Well, in my dimension, my mind. Anyway, so you know, I was very happy that we got the time loop thing, which was great. I wasn't expecting seeing Who Remains again, and that was a cool, great scene.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good, and the fact that like again, you know, I like how OB was like not only was a great character here, but his meaning as this like mythology character from the Norse mythology really hit the series. Like one snake bites another. Like Who Remains was the snake for the series. If you understand what I'm trying to say here, He Remains was like the real OB in this series, where he was just like he had the plan all along. Like he was literally a mastermind with this whole thing, and like and that really kind of made Loki so frustrated because he wanted to get out of this like loop that Who Remains set up, right? And then his conversation with Sylvie, just him and Mr. M's conversation was so great. When he started to tear up was like so great. I mean, Thomason just hit it all around with this episode. Just his emotions, his movement, and like everything he had to do here was just so incredible. Yeah.
Well, Andres, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I will play the trailer at some point here later on, but I don't have it pulled up yet. As far as the intro goes, I'll tell you, for an hour episode, it really flies right by. Because it's not. I don't want to say there's a lot of action necessarily, but there kind of is, because there's a lot of activity going on screen when Loki, as Andres mentions, basically starts right off in the episode by following through on what he said he was going to do in episode 5, which was, now that he has found some sort of stability in with his control of his time slipping, just going back and redoing shit and and trying to fix it, and still fix the TVA. So he goes back and he tries to speed things up with Timely with the loom again, and just tries to make it go by quicker. You know, and we see all the characters again. Oh, you know, OB is there. You know, and basically we get Loki saying like not faster, earlier, right? So he goes back in time, and then he says again, and he just starts repetitively, and Mobius starts picking it up. You know, like, what do you mean again? You know, like, and it ends up getting to the point where, you know, Loki doesn't. What is he literally? He literally says like, "What is it? How long will it take me to learn everything that you know about science, or something like that?" Or like, you know, or about, you know, this technology, or whatever, and whatnot. And they're like, time is like centuries, right? OB's like decades. And Loki just dips and comes back, right? Centuries later, we try again, he says. And you know, I'll stop there. A lot goes down with that. There's a lot there. You know, that you guys can fill in the gaps. I'll start with you, Andres. What'd you think of the intro?
First up,
What did you think of the time loop? The time looping.
Yeah, well, first up, the Marvel Studios logo that we got for this episode, I really like how they went backwards to that, and the music they used. So it was really great they did that, like going back and forward to like if you haven't seen episode 5, like already they were noticing that there's going to be a time loop, which is great. Yeah, so for that, I really like how this first sequence we used the time loop. It was really fun, like seeing the comedic how do you say it, stuff we've seen with time loops in films like Groundhog Day or Happy Death Day, or you know, or Palm Springs, the movie. Like this was such a great classic way of using time loops, and they did it such a good job here, and so I really enjoyed that. I think yeah, overall it was fun. I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to talk more about that. And it was funny, like him, like talking over with the people, what they were gonna say. That's always funny, like from those kind of stories, like they know what's gonna happen because they already experienced that, and that was always hilarious to me. Every time Loki has to like explain these things that the characters are going to say, but he like says it first and not them. It was like so funny, and that just made my day every time. And just the way Loki did it was funny. So yeah, I really enjoyed this sequence. It just a great start for this episode.
Most definitely. Cyberneticshark, sir. What did you think? And did you get any Endgame vibes?
So the beginning is super hilarious. I absolutely cracked up at it because just like Andres was saying, every time he talked over them saying their lines already was absolutely hilarious. The fact that, you know, he keeps basically trying to figure out everything he needs to do to make it be perfect and keeps going back and back and back and back and stuff like that was really fun because we got to see so many great kind of like time loop thing there. I did not get Endgame vibe because Endgame was a little more.
The time ice was different.
It was that was different, but at the same time, they just went back in time to redo things. You know what I mean? They didn't really they didn't time loop. Kind of like this would be more like Happy Death Day or Groundhog Day type of
Groundhog
deal.
Day.
That's what it'd be more like. But yeah, him like trying to figure out exactly everything to get it down to the T and perfect and everything was freaking hilarious. And I have to agree that logo, the opening credit logo, is really cool too. Seeing it, it was a little different than they previously done. Changed it up a little bit, and I thought that was really cool. And I mean, the fact that we kept seeing Victor Timely like keep disintegrating like several times was absolutely hilarious too. And just like, you didn't save anything there, Loki. He disintegrated again. And I don't know if anybody knows, but like every time I felt he went out, his suit was a little thicker, a little thicker, a little thicker. And
yeah,
but like even sometimes when he was started talking over the people, they were making faces like, why does he know what we're saying right now? Like they were thinking, like, what is going on here? Like they kind of had a feeling like something was going on here. You know what I mean? And it just was a really fun, like, kind of like Groundhog Day, beginning to the episode. and just really fun. I absolutely cracked up at it and I loved it.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, if you're the other actors and actresses and whatnot that are in these scenes, like, like that's probably got to be like some intense act. I thought Tom Hiddleston killed it in that section of the film. I mean, or that section of the episode. Like, I mean, I thought he killed it overall, but I mean, I'm just saying, I thought he really killed it in the beginning. I really liked it. I liked him explaining everything and laying it all out. Right, like perfectly to the T for everybody, and like knowing exactly how to demonstrate everything and whatnot, and everything, and explain everything. It was really cool.
That fast too. Like he was quick, like he was just like very fast to talk about it instead of like slowing down.
Remember, he spent centuries or whatever, whatnot. Like
yeah. Well, is it after this first like loops? Because it's when he goes to OB and Casey to, because he wants to know how to build the
and timely, yeah, and he asks like straight up, he's like, how do you learn quantum physics or whatever, or something like that, or whatever, like how do you master it or whatever, whatnot, and all that. And it literally says on the screen, I think, like centuries later.
Yeah, I think okay. Yeah.
And at that point, he just spent, if I understand correctly, like based off of like other stuff in the MCU, that means he spent literally like centuries or whatever, whatnot, like kind of like Doctor Strange, remember? And What If?
Or the first film. I mean, just remember he did that in the first film with.
In the What If episode, he spends like centuries or whatever, whatnot, like learning, at like some kind of like temple or whatever, whatnot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But either way, basically, what ends up happening is that even when he thinks they finally got it, and Timely manages to make it across to whatnot and everything, and get the multiplier in there into the loom and whatnot, it doesn't work. It still fails. And Loki's sort of on his own. And based around the people around him, like OB, like Sylvie, as they're like commenting as things are going on, are kind of like he's learning and figuring out. He's a sharp guy. What's sort of going down? And of course, at that point, he decides, the readings end up going off the charts again and whatnot, and everything. The loom overloads with branches again and whatnot, and everything, because they're not getting pruned. And at that point, he realizes, I've got to go back even earlier. And so we go back to that's when we go back to season 1, right? Which is really cool. I love the whole concept of the fact that we're actually we revisited the first seasons like the way we did in different episodes almost. That was really cool. And there's a really cool part before that where Timely explains it's a scaling problem. You can't scale infinite, like you can't divide 0, right? That was really cool. I dug that. Like, like that was, it made sense to me anyway. And Sylvie, actually, give her credit, Cyber. She nuts up and actually calls it out and says, I did it. Basically, like she flat out admits that like she's responsible for, for what happened. To some extent, she doesn't apologize, but she does admit that like the reason that they're at is because of her killing He Who Remains in the finale of Loki. Doesn't she essentially?
I don't give her credit still.
Oh, okay. You don't have to. She didn't have. We talked before you came on. We were talking about the fact that she wasn't too hot in season 2. Sylvie, she didn't exactly kill it.
That's what made the season even better.
Not if you like the character, but so Loki goes back to the finale of episode 6 basically, and I'll stop there. Because all he ends up basically doing is just trying to stop. Of course, he tries to stop Sylvie from trying to kill He Who Remains, so we know where that's going to go. But I'll stop there. Cyberneticshark. Again, did you feel like you were able to follow the science, what was going on and everything for the most part? through that part, whatnot, and everything. A lot goes down in this episode. Before we actually get into the part where Loki finally has a conversation with He Who Remains, right? Were you able to kind of stay with it and and feel like you had a good comprehension of what was going down?
Yeah, I had no problem understanding it up to this point. It was pretty, set and standard. And, I think Loki explained it very well. OB and, Casey and everyone all made it very clear, what was going on. I mean, this whole section was just as fun as that first section. And just, made you kind of like, what's he going to do? What, where does he go next? How does he try to fix this part now? And, leading him, to have to go back in time as soon as, he, after the centuries mark or expression, after he fails with the loom and he has to go back and basically the first thing that came out of mouth when they're saying that, he's got to go back even further. I'm like, oh, he has to go back and stop Sylvie from killing He Who Remains. And, when it pops back up there, you're just kind of like, oh, wow, like more time travel. Woohoo, this is awesome. And, watching, him try to stop Sylvie several times was absolutely hilarious. And like, him trying to reason with her and stuff like that. And every time he just kept going back, it's like, oh, it's like, God damn it, Sylvie, stop it. So, and thinking that this was his next, this was his only other choice to try to, save his friends. And, we'll learn after we get to the part with He Remains. But that whole sequence is just fun. And I liked how he finds out, he's kind of plays with He Who Remains a little bit before they have a conversation there. And, he's like acting like this is the first time kind of. And I thought that was really clever and fun too. And like, as that goes on, we find out a little bit more about, Loki's a little more in tune here than we think. But that whole concept, I loved how they got the different angles that they were fighting and clashing at it, and him just kind of keep, wrapping up and, coming back and forth and stuff like that, trying to do things. And it just was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Really great sequence.
Of course, and he doesn't want to kill her. She keeps repeating over and over again, you're going to have to kill me, right, Andres? And he doesn't want to kill her, and that's the problem. That's the biggest, like, hurdle that he's having, is that, like, she's hell-bent, and he can't stop her without killing her, right? Like, he can't control her, basically. What do you think, Andres?
Yeah, no, I agree with everything what Cyber say here. I think this sequence was totally unexpected. Like, I was expecting that. I thought the time loop would be just centered on the time era, but I was just shocked that we went back to season 1 finale. Like, it reminded me a lot like Back to the Future Part 2, like towards the ending where we went back to like the first movie, but in a different angle. And here we sort of did that, which was kind of cool. So I really dug, just another different way of doing the time loop. It's like, let's go back to season 1, but in a different angle, which was kind of cool. And the conversation, actually, the best thing about it was just the interaction with Who Remains and Loki. Like, Who Remains was really a bad guy here. Like, I like how menacing he was here. He was less, like, jokey from season 1 finale, and I really liked this performance. This is probably my favorite Jonathan Majors performance in overall the first 2 seasons. I think this is my favorite moment of this character. And just, I mean, the way he just tells how, like, I ran this, this is how I planned it. You can either, what do you say to Loki? Like kill me?
Let me set that up real quick. So, as Cyber said, and I love how Loki, like, says to him at one point when he's fighting Sylvie, he's like, are you going to help out or something? Like, anything? Or whatever and whatnot? Can't you do anything? Can't you do something? Or so he says whatever and whatnot. And no, but that's when he gets called out because he puts his finger up and says he'll have a conversation, with He Who Remains after he makes Sylvie go away. And that's when Loki calls him out and says, how do you know we haven't already had this conversation before? You know, like I haven't, we haven't already talked about this, and from there they go on and they go ahead and have their conversation. So now go ahead, Andres.
Well, I mean, besides that, I guess what else? Well, actually, see, I want to correct you on that because he remains paused Sylvie, and then somehow Loki did something else, which was weird. My second time it was
He
funny.
paused them and he kind of teleported her away.
Yeah. Okay. That was. I was like, it was kind of weird. Very cool. I what else? It was like really impressive. I think after that conversation, I like how he was it like time slip again to the first episode. So I don't want to jump too high, but like I thought the sequence with John Remainders was really great. It was the highlight of the episode for me. Um, I I mean we'll discuss this towards the end of the when we're done recapping the episode, but I mean MCU can either continue with Kane or not. Like this episode really kind of like close a bowl on it, but you can still continue it if you want to, because we're still in this kind of uncertainty with Kane. But we'll get into that later. But yeah, overall, I love the sequence. It's really awesome. It's one of my highlights of this episode.
Good job with the on the Edge of Tomorrow thing. That's I'm glad you mentioned that, Andres.
Another great time loop.
That's another great one. Yeah, it is. I got to add that to the list. Cyberneticshark. So, what do you think about the conversation that Loki has with He Who Remains? Where He Who Remains calls him out and lets him know, I'm aware of what the hell's going on here. Who do you think laid the path for you? Right? Who do you think caused the time slipping? Whatnot and all that kind of shit and whatnot, right? And that's when like Loki touches him and shit and whatnot, right?
Yep.
What'd you think?
I love that conversation. I think it was absolutely fantastic. Majors was amazing. Loki was amazing. Tom Hiddleston, and that whole conversation was just back and forth, great banter, really greatly acted. It just was superb. I absolutely loved it. And every time, He Who Remains said something, and then, Loki would basically touche it, the look on Major's face was perfection. Like he had it down to a T exactly what to do. And it just was amazing. Absolutely love that sequence. Really done well.
Yeah. And Loki basically finally deciding that he's gonna figure out his own option. When basically He Who Remains presents him with a basically like a no-win situation where he's going to have to like kill one of his friends or whatever and whatnot and everything. And that's when after that, of course, we get Loki going out on his own. And that's when we see Majors drop that powerful line from the trailer, make the hard choice. I like that a lot. I really like that. I love him, the way he sounds, his voice, the way it comes out of his mouth. But so we go back to the scene where Andres mentions where Loki goes and talks to Mobius from season 1, episode 1. I think this was like masterful to have Loki go back to this point to talk to him. And it's emotional. Again, hats off to Tom Hiddleston for playing like a really tough character. We found out that Renslayer was a hunter at one point. Mobius tells Mr. M tells him a story about, because basically Loki's trying to figure out what to do, like if he should kill Sylvie or not. And we go back to the loom scene. And before that, he goes and talks to Sylvie, and he basically tells Sylvie, what should I do? And she knows that he's at a point where he either has to kill her or not. Which I didn't mention it because it was kind of insignificant. I didn't even write anything down about it. But before we go back to the loom scene where Loki just walks out there on his own and goes like classic Loki and shit, Cyber, what were your thoughts on that the scene with Mobius and Loki, and Loki kind of, sort of trying to figure out what to do.
This was another very powerful scene, just like the He Who Remains in Loki sequence. Once again, it was just really done well. And I like that, one of the things I wanted to mention was I loved how when Loki is time slipping still, how he enters the body from the past. I liked how it emerged and how it changed him time slipping and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. But that whole sequence is really done well because you can see in Loki's face just how sad he is and how badly he wants to save all these people, and how he really enjoys, Mobius's, companionship and stuff like that. And you can see him welling up there as they're talking and stuff like that. And I think that showed, how much Loki has grown as a character, and that, taking it into his own account, what he needs to do to try to save them, you could see it building up in him. And I think that was a really good indicator of this sequence. And just a really enjoyable, a whole conversation was just really fun. And I just liked how it worked out.
Do you have any thoughts on that scene that he had, that Sylvie had with Loki?
Sylvie Loki scene
where they talk and Loki basically kind of like, he goes back to that part back in time when he had assembled all of them.
Oh, when he shows her that he can stop time.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, that was pretty basic, I thought. I mean, him just basically telling her that and saying that he's got to do what he's got to do. And I didn't think it was anything that great. I felt this is when the episode started to take a turn for me, and that's when he decides to go out, pull the time branches and stuff like that himself, and change them and crap. I just didn't think it was anything that great. Again, I just can't stand Sylvie, and this is all her doing. So, honestly, I think that him, trying to change it and not have to kill her was a mercy for her. And that, that showed a lot of, courage for Loki, and how, he won't accept that. And so I think that was shown in that sequence by him, saying he's got to change it and do something different. I didn't feel any great power between their conversation like I did with Mobius or with He Remains. It felt pretty basic. So, pretty much that's all I have for that sequence.
I was expecting something more emotional. Right, Andres?
Yeah. Let me get to that point. I think that's the point where I think Loki realized what he needs to do to save his friends. Because remember, episode 4, everyone was thinking who can volunteer to go out there, and they chose Victor. And so I think when he talked to Sylvie, he realized that it should be him, like he needs the one to sacrifice because he has a lot to lose, in this, situation. Yeah, I agree. I like it because just the way Tom Henson performed it, it's still a great scene. But with Sylvie, it's kind of like I don't care. She feels like a prop. She feels like a character MacGuffin, like plot driven thing from the writer to give Loki
like a device.
Yeah, device. Thank you. So I feel cold there. So I mean that's the problem when we talk about our overall feeling of season 2. I feel like Sylvie just was completely shapped. And she was just a plot device completely.
I know. Honestly, I think Hunter B15 actually
she had more art.
She did more. She had more better scenes.
Yeah, towards the end of her episode, I was so happy where she was at because she
agreed.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's same thing with OB, Cassie, my god, who else? Loki. It's like with Sylvie, it's like I've left completely. Just, I mean, thus
I like
whatever.
Dobby's arc too. I did.
Yeah. And then now getting to the Mr. M and Loki conversation. I really love this one. It's my favorite scene of this series. I love because the fact that we're going back to first episode that's titled "Glorious Purpose," and I didn't realize this episode 6 of season 2, is titled the same title of the first episode. Was great, where he talks to Mr. M about this scene tells us he now knows what his glorious purpose is going to be. Like forever, he wanted to have the throne and everything, and it's kind of funny now.
Now he's gonna become a tree person.
Well, I mean, essentially a god, basically for the multiverse, and like he has a throne now. So hey,
Did he become a tree?
Hey, I led you guys to the information. It's a Norse mythology thing. If you don't believe me, check it out. I just put it in the chat. I find it very funny. But hey, I mean, at least
I want to know who was smoking crack that day when they decided to do that.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I got nothing against Norse mythology or anything. It's great. It's so fun to learn about. But out of all the things they could go with, let's go with a tree.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like it's almost like I mean, I don't know, like why couldn't just make it like what the branches were?
Like, God of Stories is what he's called now. What kind of fucking stupid name is that?
I know.
Go from God of Mystery to God of Stories. That sounds so evil.
Became a fucking tree, dude. What the fuck?
Oh my god. See, I think Marvel Studios hire us. We know what to do. He's named the God of Multiverse. That's a good name. And the tree thing is not working. I think what they've done was the Cross the Spider-Verse, where it was like it was branching, but like you can make it similar to a tree, but not literally a tree.
How's he gonna be an Avengers 5? Are they gonna subcontract to Paul Bunyan to clear a path?
He's not coming back. I mean, we'll discuss that later. But yeah, overall, great sequence. I mean, first off, Will Wilson, he's still great. I think he's been awesome. I really love that we peel off who was Mr. M's background and all that. I was kind of concerned with episode 5, like was this their real like timelines, and it did confirm that this episode that okay, this was real after all. And I think I really appreciate that we got back to first episode, and it showed like this that scene showed a lot of depth who was Mr. M about, and the complexity he had as a person. And that's why I love him as a character.
We're not done with him either, because he's going to be in Deadpool 3.
If that's confirmed, that's been rumor. So we'll get to the final scene. I think the TVA could pop up, but the thing is, when we're done our conversation with the episode 6, we have to discuss if they're gonna follow this up. That's the thing. So I'm done.
Bella, what up? What are you doing? I mean, you can't have another season. What's season 3 going to be? The tree season?
No. tree season.
Go ahead,
Last
Cyber.
time, before season 2 was coming out, which took a couple of years for us to get the second season.
Yeah.
The same articles came out at the same time too, as well, saying Hiddleston was done with being Loki and shit. And I think that most of the time when they put that kind of stuff up is they want to throw people off so you're not thinking that where they're going with what they're going to do. So, I mean, the whole process and concept of them changing his name and making him the tree god or whatever, as Jeff on, Paul Bunyan's associate, I don't see them getting rid of Loki yet, because they're doing all this to make him something new. So I think that he'll definitely play a part in Kang Dynasties, Secret Wars probably. and we'll probably see him again. I don't know about a Loki 3. We possibly could get that. You never know with how successful this one was. And but definitely I think that if Paul Bunyan needs work, he knows where to go.
That's true. Hey, the fact that he's a god of multiverse, I want to see variant of Loki's helping the Avengers to stop Kane. Like that is something I want to see in the big screen. So yeah, bring it on. I'm for that.
Basically, we see Loki walk into the TVA, and he just like decides to walk out there and go classic Loki and shit and whatnot, and blow up the loom, and all these fucking everything makes everything perfect and everything and whatnot, and all these branches start falling around and shit and whatnot, and he starts grabbing them and like giving them life and all this shit and whatnot, and like they're like bonding with him and all this shit, and he becomes the tree god, or whatever, whatnot, and everything. And Sylvie's like, he's taking one for the team or whatever, or some shit. I don't even know. And then basically, we see him sitting there on his throne in He Who Remains former castle at the end of the time, being a tree person, just chilling. Then we go to the TVA later on, and everything's hunky dory. And that's basically the gist of it. We end up seeing that Mobius decides that he wants to dip and leave the TVA and get a taste of real life and whatnot and everything. And he does. And we see him and Sylvie together and whatnot, which we never saw. We never really saw a lot of like those two together. So I actually did kind of like that. And we saw Renslayer wake up in the void and like hear Eliath and see Eliath, and she sees the hatch to like the little like, wasn't the same secret compartment that the Lokis were living in,
right? Yeah, because they say it had the logo like in the TVA all time.
Yeah,
always. Yeah. Okay, that was I was like, I thought that was just the plank for the TVA.
Yeah, yeah, and then you see Mobius. Then Mobius says to Sylvie, "I think I'll just sit here for a while and let time pass, or whatever." Right, and that was kind of poignant because like the whole concept of the fact that in the TVA, time doesn't function like normal time. There like is no time, basically. It just kind of exists, right? So. Andres, the pop culture guy, what are your thoughts on the finale? We already talked about the whole tree god deal, but what do you think about the outcome of that of Loki's sacrifice?
I like it. I think it was a logical conclusion to where we take this character for the second time we saw him. And I think that makes a lot of sense that, like, because he got what he wanted, but not in the way I think he wanted it to be. He got his throne. He's now the god of something. I'm not saying what, because we're going to make tree jokes now. Anyway, he's the god of the multiverse. That's all I'm going to say. He's the god of the multiverse.
And Paul Bunyan.
Yeah, whatever that means.
Now he's the god of Christmas trees.
Oh my god, the Christmas.
You don't know who the fuck Paul Bunyan is?
No, I'm old. I don't know what's that.
I'm old. Oh my God.
He lives in the year 2088 or whatever, whatnot. They forgot all about Paul Bunyan already.
Yeah, I mean, my division doesn't know him anyway. Just put his name in the private chat, and I Google him and I'll see what he is. Anyway, that's what Google is for. Anyway, so. The Rainslayer thing. Let's discuss that. That felt like an open door. You can take it either way that she did demise, like she got killed by Eliath.
No, they're gonna keep her around.
Well, yes, but let me talk, sir. I
apologize, Andres.
Yeah, apologize, you jerk, you mother effing clown. Anyway. Or mother effing tree. Huh? What did they hear? Motherfucking tree. Anyway, I mean, we really don't know if they're gonna carry over, Rainslayer, but I think I assume that she's gonna be pumping up again. Because remember in the previous episode we got confirmation that she controlled Aliyah before, so I like that this kind of went full circle that she could probably now can to get control Aliyah and probably do her own thing, which is neat. So we'll probably see her again, but if they're not gonna get to it, it is a good close for the character. Then I really was kind of surprised they brought Miss Minutes again.
They
Like,
did. They brought her back.
It was first you should never trust Miss Minutes. I mean whatever. I mean, and the fact she smiled again, I was like, that's creepy. She's definitely, I don't know, weird, evil. So, but yeah, I really dug the the conclusion of B15 as we discussed earlier. I was so happy for her character. I thought she really grew over these last two seasons, and I think that she was a great. She was definitely the MVP for this season. I think. I think she really nailed everything. I was very sad to say goodbye to her, but definitely hopefully she could come back in the MCU films. Hopefully Deadpool 3. Come on, like give her an Mr. M screen time. But yeah, I was very happy where we left her off. And same thing with Opie. When he got the new TVA handbook for Opie, I was very happy about that. So that was a great conclusion to that. Yeah, what we left off with the TVA, I was very happy, and we can definitely see them again. As we say before, if the rumors are true for next year, Deadpool 3, I'm like excited because this is such a great like thing that the show introduces, the TVA, and I really want to see these characters interact with our heroes. I mean, come on, like B15, Cassie. I mean, OB, you got Keiko Wan, who's a Academy Award winner. Like, you cannot waste him for this one season.
Sylvie.
Maybe Sylvie. I'll get to Sylvie. Yeah. So, oh my god. I mean, I did not think that Mr. M was going to leave the TVA. I really dug his like sleeping his foot to the ground, leaving the place that he had like a purpose. But now with Loki gone, he has no longer a purpose there anymore. So I was very happy where we left him off, and him seeing his his like previous life was really sad. And yeah, I agree with you, Jeff. We always hint at him and Sylvie several times. Like, I don't know, you remember our review? Like, he said that Sylvie was his favorite in episode 5 and Journey into the Mystery. So I hope in the future we'll see both of them. If we're not gonna bring in Tom Hiddleston, if they're hiring Tom Hiddleston, maybe. But if they cannot able to get Tom Hiddleston, I think bringing Sylvie and Opie together makes a lot of sense. And I think that could be a good, compromise in the two Avengers movie, maybe. Yeah, so compromise, which I don't like. I do want Tom Hiddleston. I do want the variant Lokis to help the Avengers. I'm just saying, I'm just being realistic. If they cannot bring, Tom Hiddleston back, he's very expensive. Anyway,
He's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's worth it. Come on. The only disappointing thing was Sylvie. Last thing, Sylvie, like, I don't know. I mean, she had her freedom now. Okay, woohoo, whatever. Like, you've been saying that for like half the fucking season. Like, oh, I need to live our own life. I want to be free and all that. It's like, I get it. Just move on, dude. Come on. Like, you are free. Like, help out your friends. Help your supposed friend / lover that is aka Loki. Like,
There was no love shit this season.
Oh yeah, we're too manly to do that. Anyway, I was shocked about that, but whatever. But yeah, sadly with disappointment, I was just shocked. She was shocked as repeating again. I guess she was just a one time pony, I guess. But I think there's potential with her. It would do something with her. Like, she could do something else and like can help out the Avengers, and like be our Loki, moving forward. If we don't have Tom Wilson again, I just, you know, it's like how to waste Sylvie, It's, I mean, or the other way, she could be a Enchantress, be the main villain for something, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's why I was very happy with the ending, with several characters, and it did close out something that Marvel can do, is they cannot, like, they can move forward the multiverse or not. Like, that's the thing, because of what's going on with majors and really overall their studio. So I think this season did allow them to have like a way out, to not continue this multiverse storyline and do something else if they feel like that. But we'll see. But that's all of mine.
Okay, 60-minute man. Cyberneticshark, sir.
Let's Johnny.
So everyone out there, disregard everything that Andre 60-minute man / time cop 29.99 man said, because he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
Oh my
Anyways,
you.
So yeah, Raymond, I have to say yes. There is nothing like good Mexican food, sir. Yes, that is 100% true. If you got good Mexican food, oh my god, it's the best.
Shout out to Booze and Chill. What's up? What's up, Raymond?
Yeah, shout out to Booze and Chill. Anyways, so the conclusion of the episode. Now, don't get me wrong. Him pulling down the branches and stuff like that from the sacred timeline after he blows it up, basically. That was kind of cool. Him pulling them and they were attaching to him and stuff like that was kind of cool. But the end result, I think, was just stupidest fucking thing ever. And, I thought that the horns coming out was awesome. Him coming in his new outfit and stuff like that. He almost looked like a freaking, what do you call it? Like a shaman almost to me.
I thought he looked like classic Loki. Did he look a little bit like classic Loki from episode 5?
No. He had a leotard on. This is not a leotard. This looks like a lot of what the people over in India wear, I feel. And, like, they made the helmet thing out of, like, supposedly it's supposed to be where He Who Remains was, his building and stuff. It's supposed to be a partial of that and all this kind of stuff. And, visually it was awesome and cool looking and all that kind of stuff. And, him walking through the thing and changing into the outfit was cool. And him destroying the loom and everything was cool. And, him saying, I have to do what I need to do, how the look on Mobius's and Sylvie's face was priceless. And, them watching from afar what he's doing, they're, all kind of like, what the hell's going on? And they didn't, because he didn't clue them in or anything like that. That's another reason why I said I feel it had no direction or conclusion to it, because they don't really know what they're doing. Because even after, Loki takes all those branches and puts them to himself, sits down on this golden throne, which, he wants a golden throne. We know that for many years now, but I don't know why he wants it in inner space. He's not Thanos. Mobius decides that he wants to go see his alternate reality. B15 is upset about that, but says you always have a seat at the table. And we kind of see Casey and OB kind of in their element there at the end after we see a new TVA book. Which, by the way, did you guys notice that there's a TVA that says TVA number 2? So, which is interesting.
Is that what it said? I didn't notice it said that.
Yeah, It says 2nd edition. And basically, they, that was, I thought, was really stupid. Because, Mobius has always been a part of the TVA. He's meant to be a part of the TVA. And so all of a sudden him deciding, I gotta see that, reality. And I was kind of like, really? Like, come on. Like, this just seems stupid. And Sylvie's there with him, and I'm like, why is she following him? Like, this is just weird, bro. And, she says, I don't know what I'm going to do. And you're like, oh, shit. What else kind of shit can you get yourself into, bitch? So, her not having a kind of an end purpose there too, it kind of makes you worried. Like, is she gonna screw up the multiverse more than it already is? And it also kind of brings to mind how this happens up in Loki doing this. Maybe that's a part of what we saw at the end of or the post-credit scene in Multiverse of Madness, when Charlize Theron characters come through and says, blah blah blah, it's caused, you have caused this. But how do we know that wasn't a part that kind of happening along with Loki is kind of why the universe is kind of in a mess. So I wonder if they're going to tie that together. So like you said, Andres, yes, I get that there's infinite kind of possibilities, but still, they didn't actually bring the story to a close there. They didn't give it a full conclusion. And that's what I meant by it not having a conclusion. Doesn't mean it can't go somewhere, but they didn't give a definitive thought process. So that's the reason why I didn't care too much for the ending. Because, like I said, I don't feel it gave it a complete conclusion like the last season did, where she kills He Who Remains. We know where it's going from there. Here, we really don't. We just know Loki's now king of pre-god, or as he's called now, the god of stories. I've been waiting for him to be like, I'm the god of stories, and kind of going, that way with it. But who knows? Like you were saying, it's supposed to be a part of Greek mythology, which I did see on Facebook earlier. Some name, like Dilalatari or something like that. It was some interesting word. That's what it's basically the Greek mythology is. So, not my favorite ending. But the whole season wasn't like that. It was just this final episode. But overall, I didn't mind the conclusion. But I didn't like it 100% like I did the finale of the first season.
I got you. So you like the second season better than the first season, but you're not happy. You didn't like the completion of the finale compared to the first season.
Correct.
Okay, that's fair. All right, Monica Rambeau Awards. Andres, you're first, buddy.
OP, hands down. I think, like, first off, he is a new character. They, could have done something very dramatic, or could have been a very important thing. But I was so happy where we left him off. He was a great character. I think Kei Kuwan was a great addition to the cast. He had great chemistry with Tom, Owen, and the rest of the cast. He was very important in the story in a very good way, and not like a very annoying way. And everyone was theorizing he could be the main villain or something like that. I was happy where we came out with OP, so I was very happy with that. And he helped to ground the show and help us understand this this jumble dialogue about time travel, temporal aura, it couldn't be bad, but the way that Kei Kuwan did it, it was so awesome, and it was just so immature to listen to him talk, and just he had great comedic timing. Oh my god, it was so great. When we first meet him, when he tells Mr. M about the time slipping, and then his last line is I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. And it's just so funny. So I think he's the MVP of this, because and plus his name, his name became a literal thing for the show. Everything about it.
Remember, the Monica Rambeau Award is for the best secondary character.
He's the secondary character. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, you know what? That's my Monica Rambeau. I can do whatever I want.
I'm giving it to Mr. M. Owen Wilson.
Mr. M.
Yep. I'm giving it to Mobius. I think he deserves it. What do you think, Cyber?
My OB. You guys got me saying OB. My Monica Rambeau Award goes to Mr. Jonathan Majors.
Ooh.
He was absolutely fucking fantastic in this. He was great as Victor Timely. His stutter, everything about the character was so awesome. And then that final fucking scene when he's talking with Loki was perfection. AKA Jonathan Majors gets my Monica Rambeau award.
I almost wanted to pick Victor Timely, but he wasn't in all the episodes. He wasn't in all the episodes, so I didn't want to do. That's why I didn't pick him. But all right. So ratings. I'm gonna drop a solid 9 on this one. What do you think, Cyber?
I give it a 7.5.
Okay, I'll be the outlier. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I think it was a great series finale. But everything, like for me, I agree with you, Saber. It didn't close out any arcs that I wish that was similar to season 1's finale, but it closed out Loki. That's like for me more important. Like we really closed out Loki's arc for his journey the second time in the MCU. So I like it.
But did it though?
It didn't though.
Yes, it did.
I get it. He's a tree now. I get it. But like, what does that mean? Like,
well, he finally had his glorious purpose now. He's now a ruler of not a a literally like what like a country, like literally the ruler of multiverse. Hey, you guys can disagree. I think he find his glorious purpose. You guys are angry at this whole MCU thing. You cannot let go Loki. Yes. He find.
You know what would have been great in the finale is if Roz from Monsters Inc. came in and was like, "Thank you, Loki, for helping us do this. Thank you." That would have been funny as fuck.
Oh my god! I mean, that'd be kind of cool. See that character in the.
No, you know what would be cool is if instead of me having to go pay to go watch the Marvels, as a payback for how shitty some of the stuff that's come out in Phase 4 and Phase 5 has been, I should get to have my own personal Marvels threesome with Amon Vellani, Bree, Captain Bree, and Teona Paris. That would be some real multiculturalism right there and diversity. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you're a sick person. You know that. I mean, how old is this Kamala Khan's actress?
She's old enough.
How old she is?
She's 21.
21? Okay. Right.
She's legal, baby.
She's legal.
Right.
I mean, the character's supposed to be 16, but she's actually 16.
Yeah. I was just want to make sure because Jeff, that was going too dark.
We might use that. We might use that angle for role play. But
there you go. Role play. Jeff, I thought you were gonna say if Sylvie had come out naked at the finale, that would have made up for everything for you for Phase 4 and 5.
Oh my god!
I would like to see Sylvie naked. I would. I'm sure she must have been nude in at least one of her films or something like that.
Oh dear Lord!
Is she British?
Yeah, I think she is.
She might have been if she's British. She might have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have a different view on nudity than us Americans do.
I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty much every British actress. I swear to God, they've been at least naked in one thing.
We're big supporters of female. We're big supporters of female nudity. Being back in movies over here. Hey, I'll tell you right now, Oppenheimer, baby. Yelena Belova. God damn. What is that actress name? Florence Pugh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She looked good.
Actress.
She looked good. I'll give her a 10.
By the way, she gets naked in another movie, so it's not the first one.
No. But it's the first one Jeff saw.
Oh, that's true.
That's right, folks. And of course, we're all going to see the Marvels. We are. Cyber, did you go see the Marvels?
I already saw it last night.
Oh, okay.
Cyber went and saw it last night. I thought about going. I didn't go. Did you bring your cyanide capsules with you?
No. No, I left those back behind because because I didn't need them, so I was happy about that.
Oh, okay. I heard Iman Vellani was actually pretty good in the movie.
She is the star of it.
That's good to hear.
She is the fucking star of that movie. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's just put it this way, guys. I went in after hearing a whole bunch of shit about it, going, I don't know how this is going to end up. How phase 4 and 5 has been so far. And I walked out surprised. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
What's that? That could mean anything, though. That surprises in like.
Surprised good.
Okay, I was about to say.
Surprised good. Like, I was surprised at how the movie ended. Now, I will say this.
See, there you go, Andres. Here we go.
I will now say this. The villain is fucking stupid as fuck.
See, I already knew that. I heard that. I heard that she's worse than Ronan. She's like Ronan without a brain.
No. That's basically what the character is. It's a female version of Ronan. Is basically how it plays out. But she's a Kree, and from my understanding, the character is from the comics, but it is gender swapped. Originally, the character is male in the comics.
Yeah, they did. They gender swapped it.
So that's probably one of the reasons why it didn't do so well. But other than that, surprisingly good. I was shocked. I really was. I thought I was going to come out of it going, this is stupid as fuck, but I didn't.
Well, that's what I figured too. So you're making me feel better about going. I think I'm going to go tomorrow night. I was going to go. Tomorrow night probably I'll go. When are you going to go, Andres?
I'll let you know. I'll probably, hopefully, either like latest this week. I cannot guarantee it if my schedule.
Maybe we'll do a mini. Maybe we'll do a mini review on it or something like that. Like something that's straight recorded or something like that, or whatnot.
Yeah, we can do that. What else? I also want to bring up that the release dates has changed again with the other Phase 5 movies. So next year, we're only going to have one MCU film. So Deadpool 3 is going to release next year, but it's going to be in July. So everything that was going to release in 2024 is gone pushed back to 2025, which we'll discuss in the Monday report.
So Thunderbolts and everything got pushed back.
Yeah. So So
So one movie next year, and then 4 movies in 2025.
That's what it sounds like. It.
Because Fantastic Four is supposed to be in 2025 too. So technically, you got Blade, Fantastic Four, Captain America 4, and what do you call it?
Blade.
I had a few. Thunderbolts.
Thank you. So those
isn't that 5 films?
No,
what about Deadpool 3? Oh, Deadpool 3 is going to come out this year. Coming up.
Next year.
Next year
coming up. So, well, at least we're going to get Ironheart.
Nope.
No. It's coming out in 2025. Next 2024 we have Echo, and then X-Men 97.
Ironheart has been actually axed for right now.
Oh, good. Really? Okay. Yeah, that's what I heard. Okay.
Good, because nobody fucking asked for it.
No, so all you have next year is Echo in January, Deadpool in July. If there's anything else that year, it'll be Daredevil Born Again, because they already started filming that before the strike. So that possibly might come out still next year. They haven't said yet.
That'll have to be. But Cyber, won't that have to be late next year though? Don't you think doesn't it take a while to shoot that many episodes?
They already shot like half of them.
But I'm thinking, I thought they were going to throw that in the can.
No, they're just revamping it.
Okay.
Which, don't forget, the writer's strike ended a month before the strike for the actors ended. So that means the writers could go back. So they've already been working on the script while their actors were on strike.
That's right. Well, there you go. All right.
So hopefully we'll get that. Like, if we do get it next year, it'll probably be the fall.
And we're going to have, hopefully, the first episode of What If by the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, in December 2023. So
that's right. And next Wednesday, we got Spider-Man, what?
Homecoming.
That's right. And then Cyber, I got to talk to you tomorrow,
District 9.
or we're gonna do District 9, so we can get the
District 9
rotation.
because this last week was Godfather Part 2, which is
And then we'll do Event Horizon the week after.
correct.
District 9, baby. Sounds good. So that means we got District 9 lined up next week, folks. Next Friday. That's gonna be a great film. I haven't seen that in a long time. I've got with Andres. I've got 28 Days Later live stream on Sunday night, right? And we've got no Marvel until What If at the end of the year. Hopefully, basically at the end of the year, and then Echo. When did they say they're going to drop Echo?
January
10th.
January 10th. So we might be doing two different shows there for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it. But that won't be the first time we've done that. We've done 3.
Yeah, what if it premieres how it's supposed to? But who knows? With the pushes and everything, that might get pushed too. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. All right. Well, you know what, folks? That's pretty much it. That's our review for Loki, the season 2, episode 6, the finale. Once again, we appreciate everybody out there and whatnot. Thank you for supporting the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. We almost hit 35,000. Well, we did hit 35,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we're already at 35,000.
Yep. We really appreciate everybody out there and whatnot for appreciating us. Guys, I've really enjoyed reviewing the series with you and whatnot. We want to thank you, everybody in the comment section. Thank you to Raymond, and we're going to go ahead and get into plugs and get the hell out of here. I'll start with you, Cyberneticshark, sir.
We're currently at 35,167.
That's right. And we actually had a well, I'll talk to you about that later, but we had a good, and our analytics have been really good the last like 2 months.
Yep, because we've been scheduling and being scheduled properly. So, anyways, folks.
Thank you, Cyber.
Because somebody's back on track. Anyways, if you enjoy me here on the Bleeding Edge, definitely check me out my solo content or Cyberneticshark. Currently at 710, making my way up there. Trying to get to that 1,000 mark by the end of the year. So December 31st, I like to hit that 1,000 mark. So you guys have been helping quite a bit. If you haven't already subscribed, go subscribe. And if you do subscribe, you'll be entered into a contest if you do. Anyways, but as you see there, my most recent still is Slaughterhouse and Killers of the Flower Moon. I just recently put up my mini review of the Marvels. If you haven't watched that yet, go check that out. And I also put up my 2 mini reviews of both Godfathers, Part 1 and Part 2. Be lookout for more. I'll be having a tribute for the late great actor Richard Mole pop up soon, finishing the final touches on it. You'll also be seeing my full review for the Marvels soon. You also be on the lookout for some trailer reactions to Godzilla -1, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and more new movies coming out next year and so forth. And just keep on tracking. Let's get me to that 1,000 mark. Me and Mr. Andres. Thank you.
There you are, folks. Andres, the pop culture guy.
Sure.
Let's see what's going on over here.
Yeah. So I'm up to 843 subscribers. Thank you, everyone. This is Andre, the Pop Culture Guy. This is the Pop Culture Guy channel presents. Yesterday, I posted my Godfather film tribute. Check it out. Right now, I'm working on my top 10 favorite Doctor Who companions. So everyone knows Doctor Who. That's the the time traveler / time lord that I am.
Time cop.
So yeah. No. No. Anyway, time code, whatever you guys want to do. So that's what I'm talking about. And then and then later on, we'll do other content that's Doctor Who and all that. And check out me and Jeff for this Sunday on 28 Days Later live stream movie review, which is gonna happen. So please check out that in the next 2 days. So that's where I'm at.
Cillian Murphy, bitch.
Yes. Best actor ever.
Andre, if you need me to help you, do you need me to help you show you how to pre-schedule the live stream?
No, I don't have to do it. I already posted a post.
If you really like Cillian Murphy, you should definitely check out a film called Sunshine from 2007. One of the best goddamn films ever by Danny Boyle. Also stars great cast: Chris Evans, Mr. America himself, Captain America. Also, the awesome and amazing Rose Byrne. And some great people as well.
I love Rose Byrne. I love me some Rose Byrne. I do. I haven't thought about her in a long time. She's a very attractive woman. Anyways, folks, we're out of here. Peace. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Raymond, we appreciate you. Thank you for getting me tripping out on Mexican food now. We'll see you later, folks. Peace.
Just let a man breathe and just hush so my mind could just see, so my mind don't erupt. At times I feel I can't get enough, but I sip a double cup and I spin a